All right, let me figure this out. Do-do-do. Link. Give me just a second, y'all. All right. Good morning, everybody. It is Jeremy with Jane and Aquatics. I was wondering why my camera was left up. It is 7:30 in the morning. This is the earliest I've been on live. Do I really want to be on live right now? No, I don't. I want to be in bed sleeping. I got to fix that mirror on my camera thing. Okay, that's better. Left, right. Okay. It is super early in the morning. I wish I was in bed, still sleeping, but I can't. And it looks like everyone else is sleeping or going to work. Wake up, everybody. Wake up. Jeremy's on live. It's time to grab your coffee and come hang out with Jeremy for an hour. So I come here in the store. I make sure everything's all kosher. So one bad thing about running a store is the overhead, right, guys? So the a lot of people think, you know, fish store owners make a lot of money. We really don't. We make like less than minimum wage. We hardly make anything from it because we're having to pay the overhead. But uh, but yeah, that's the hobby we love. So the store is a wreck. Like, store is bad. That's why I'm here super early in the morning. I probably shouldn't even be on live right now, but I am. Haven't been on live in a while. I need to get back in my routine. So I was on a good routine for a little while there. You know, Monday Night Lives with Naomi and I, and then just little pop-up lives here at the store. But we had a incident at the store. Uh, so I had a rack, right? I had one of these little metal racks that came from Lowe's, and that's what I put all my fish tanks on. So I had a rack over here, and I had a 55-gallon at the bottom. I had one, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Like 12, 10 gallons from higher levels, right? So each shelf supposed to hold 1,000 pounds. So all these shelves here, as you see, I got plywood. So I got plywood underneath these tanks, right? And underneath that plywood are this little metal rack. So those metal racks are supposed to hold 1,000 pounds. Do they really hold 1,000 pounds? I don't know, but that's why I put the plywood underneath too for stability. Well, the rack I had over here, I didn't have the plywood, and so I was getting a bunch of shrimp from a local breeder, and I was in the process of setting up my shrimp tanks on this rack. And so I was filling up tanks. I filled one up, full, got it ready. And then I was filling up the second one, and there I was filling up the water tanks, and everything came crashing down right in front of me. So all my 8-gallon tanks, my other tanks up top I think they're like maybe 5s or whatever, all came crashing down on top of my koi tank. So I had frogs jumping around on the floor. I had water all over the store, broken glass everywhere. The bottom of the tanks, the glass on the bottom of the tanks fell down into my goldfish and my koi tank. It was a mess. And so, believe it or not, I was in here cursing like no other, like a sailor. And I don't curse, like every now and then, but I normally do not curse. Just never been that type of person. But when everything fell and busted, I said water everywhere. I had frogs jumping all over the floor. I had shrimp flopping on the floor. Everything else. So I ended up having to close the store down for the day to clean up. I called Naomi. Naomi called her sister Jennifer. They all came and helped me get the mess all cleaned up. So right now I am building a new rack. So what I'm gonna do is I'll kind of show you a layout facing back. There we go. All right, so I'm going to put two 40-gallon breeders at the bottom, right? And then I got a 20 tall, got a 55, another 20 on the side. And then I'm going to put 10 gallons up the top. And I'm going to have my shrimp tanks up the top. And I'm probably going to put another level up here and just have storage up top. But it's not finished. I still got to get my braces here in the middle to support the weight of the tanks like I did right here. So I got my supports. I'm telling you, this rack is not going anywhere. This is a sturdy rack. So I will not be losing any tanks on this thing. So that is how. Morning, Jeff. How are you? So Jeff, so I was talking how the accident we had at the store the other day. So I had a rack like this that I got from Lowe's. It was supposed to hold 1,000 pounds, but I was filling up tanks. I had one over here, and I had one over here coming towards me, and I was filling up tanks, getting ready for the shrimp I was getting in, and everything went collapsing. Ready for a nap. I hear you. But yeah, all my tanks that I had on this rack came crashing down. It broke. I had friggin' frogs and shrimp and fish flopping on the floor. So I'm in the process of building a new rack. How long you been up, Jeff? Yeah, it sucked. Luckily, I had 0 casualties, so I have everything in buckets right now until I get my tanks back up and going. But it was a mess. A few minutes, are you ready for a nap? Shoot, that's how I felt this morning. I do not want to be up this early messing with the store, but I got to. I started working on this rack yesterday, and store got really busy, and everything's a hot mess right now. I got all kinds of stuff all over the floor, all over my counters. It's a hot mess in the store, and people kept coming in, so I couldn't finish my rack. So I figured I'd come in super early. But I think it was my fault. So the shelves hold 1,000 pounds, right? Or that's what they say. But see, I got plywood at the bottom of these, and the ones I had over here, I didn't put plywood under. I kept it with these right here. Figured that this would be strong enough to hold all the weight, but evidently they're not strong enough to hold the weight, or wasn't supported properly. So I'm super paranoid about these right here, but I don't think they're going to go anywhere. It got cold again here in Kentucky. We had some really nice days, warm weather. Now it's cold again. The rat's been up for a little over a year. Yeah, they've been up for over a year, and I've had no issues out of them until the other day. And see, there was not. So I said, they say these rats each shelf holds 1,000 pounds. Okay, and I think it's what, 8 pounds per gallon of water. So 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. So this rat right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 pounds of water per gallon. So there's 40. So there's 320 pounds on this shelf right here. Right. So technically it's supposed to be good. And then 20, 40, and there's 320 pounds on this shelf. But I haven't had any problems out of that. But like I said, I got plywood underneath. The ones over here, I had, which I don't understand what happened, because I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 4 10 gallons on one shelf. So that's 40. That's 320 pounds on one shelf. I have 4 10 gallons on the third shelf up top, which was 320. So I was nowhere near my 1,000-pound limit. So I don't know what happened. I didn't have plywood underneath, but it still shouldn't have collapsed like it did. I wanted to save some of the glass so I can like make my own tanks, but I've never done that before. But see, like the bottom all, friggin' shattered. Some tanks like the sides busted out, the bottoms busted out. It was all that glass ended up falling down. At the bottom, I had a 55 gallon with koi and goldfish in it, and all that glass fell in that tank. I don't know. Like, I'll show you. I don't know if I still have part of the braces. I think I already done threw them away. But like the cross braces, kind of like it bent, like it just gave out. So I don't know. Maybe the pin. Maybe I missed the pin. And the great. Let's see. And see, look. So here's one of the. I don't know if you can tell, but it bent. Like this one here. I don't know if you can really tell, but it looked like it bent right in the center. So that's probably what happened. Is it bent right in the center? The top shelf bent, and one shelf fell on top of the other, and probably bent the second shelf, and it all came crashing down to the floor. But that's what I don't understand is if they're made to hold 1,000 pounds, then why did it bend like that? Because I was in the process of filling up a 10-gallon. So that top shelf had 4 10-gallons on it. And I filled one 10-gallon up, and I was working on the second 10-gallon. So that's 32 pounds. And of course the tank, the weight of the tanks. But so 4 10-gallon, I had 3 empty 10-gallons and a full 10-gallon on that shelf. And I was filling up the second shelf. And that's when it bent and twisted the brace likely, yeah. And of course, when it happened, everybody wanted to come in the store. Like, that's when it got busy, which never fails. Something goes wrong, everyone wants to come in. I ended up having to close the store down because I had glass everywhere. But this new shelf that I'm doing here is not going to go anywhere. Maybe you have some suggestions before I actually fill these tanks up. Let me flip my camera around. Facing back. All right. So I'm putting a 40-gallon breeder here. I'm putting a 40-gallon breeder at the bottom. Okay, so that's gonna hold this whole thing pretty much in place. Then I got a 20, got a 55, I got another 20. Now I do have braces underneath. All right, so I got a brace here, got a brace here, I got a brace going across, another brace going across, another brace. I got these legs closed in with 2x4s on each side. So these legs ain't going nowhere. That's it. I got it doubled right here to hold the weight of the back of the tank. But I got the rims all supported by a 2x4. Morning, Brenton. So do you think I ought to put a 2x4 right here? Or you think that'd be good? Do you think that's going to be okay? Or should I put another one like right here? And then one right here? What do y'all think? I'd put a block underneath. Underneath what? Nah, I'm gonna put more blocks right here. I'll probably put 2 more right here. But are you talking about right here, Brandon? Is the 55 supported at both ends? Yeah, so the 55, so I got a brace here right in the center of the 55. I got a brace here at the front side. I got a brace there on the back side, right in the center of the 55. Then I got a brace in the middle. And then there's a brace right here on the right side. There's a brace on the left side. And then I got cross braces for the back side. So the 55 is well supported. Central brace tends to blow out the bottom. Hey, Aquafunk. What do you mean? What do you mean the central brace? You think? So I shouldn't have a brace here? Is that what you're? So you think I should take this one out? That's in the center of the 55? They're designed to be supported from the ends. Okay. I got you. Yeah, they're definitely supported on the ends. I guess I could take that middle. I could take that middle out. And then I'll have to make a solid piece on the back side. And then my 20s are good. So what you're, let's see, this right here. Three-quarter inch. Add a sheet of plywood and it should be fine. Okay. Might be it. Alrighty. See, I lucked out with the 2x4s. I put a center brace on every stand I ever made with no issues. Oh, Jiffy, I don't think it matters. Same for the 40s. All right. But yeah, I plan on putting 10 gallons up here for my shrimp. It only matters if it shifts. Yeah, true. You got a point. Eventually, I'm probably going to redo all of this right here because now I am paranoid as hell because of that happened. But I don't think I'm really going to have too much of an issue because I looked at every pin, so every pin is like in its holes. I inspected this thing thoroughly yesterday because I said I am paranoid. And that's the last thing I need is friggin' another rat to fail and go down. If the center becomes the high point, over. I got you. I'll probably put sheet of plywood. It's not what rat failed? So I had one of these rats, Branton, from Lowe's that's supposed to hold 1,000 pounds per shelf, and the top shelf. I don't know if you can actually see that very well, but it bent in the middle. I have 14 gallons on the top. I was filling up the second tank, and that's when that rat bent and came crashing down on everything and busted everything underneath. Your snails are good though. Your snails wasn't part of the fall. And see, I normally do like these here. I got plywood underneath. That's how I did all my tanks. I mean, they got plywood underneath all of them, but just not that rack. That one rack that I did not put the plywood under is the one that failed on me. Everything else has plywood under it. I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm just saying I've never seen God does. Yeah, the one rack I didn't put plywood under happened to be the one that failed. Good morning, Jody. Jody, you're failing. So Jody is always the first person to jump in my lives when I go live. And Jody failed me this morning. So Jeff is my new favorite person, Jody. I'm sorry. Jeff was the first one in. Jeff got plus 1,000 points. I had my hands in a tank. I'm kidding, Jody. No loyalty, I see. You know we all got love for you, Jody. But Branton, people want your snails. So Monday needs to hurry up. I've had almost every customer come in this store wanting to buy your snails. I said, no. They're being shipped off. It's puppy arrival day. Yes, it is. Unfortunately, tell them they're going to someone special with the back off, right? So my Nets fish order, I'm going if they're on my list again, I'm buying a lot of them this time. Because they're definitely they're a rare snail. We researched them. They're actually a really rare snail to get. But I'll show you. Let me flip my camera around again. Like that. Oh, not me. There we go. So that guy right there, he's a monster. He's a big old boy. What is a rare snail? Pagoda snail. So you got one up on here. So you got one. There's another little guy. I got this. But yeah, they're all doing really good. And Jody, unfortunately, Naomi is going to get your guppies before I do. I was hoping I'll have to tell her do a unboxing video so I can post it. But I'm super excited. She set up a tank. Pretty please. Yeah, if I was at home, I would have done the unboxing. So I'm hoping she does. I'll send her a message, let her know to do a unboxing video. Oh, the store is a wreck right now. But I'm ready to get these tanks. So Naomi, she set up a tank. She set up a 36-gallon boat front. Or no, I'm sorry. It's a hexagon. It might not be 36. It might be 20-gallon hexagon. I'm not sure the size, but it's a hexagon tank. So she put her green. I got a bunch of shrimp in the other day, and I got like the green jades. I got the orange and red, really shrimp. I got snowballs, blue velvets. I got a bunch of shrimp. My local breeder, he is getting out of the neocardinas and getting into the cardinia shrimp. And so he sold me, I don't know, I paid probably like $1.50 per shrimp. I spent $100. But so we're going to be breeding a lot of neocardinas. But she put her green jades in that hexagon, and she's going to put your green Moscows in with them. And then I'm going to take the blue Moscows. She's going to breed the green Moscows, and I'm going to take your blue Moscows, and I'm going to breed them here at the store. And hopefully supply Western Kentucky and Tennessee and everyone else of Jody P's beautiful guppies. I found pygmy sunfish fried last night. Pygmy sunfish. That is exciting. You could run home and unbox them with her. No, I don't even like Naomi. Naomi and I have a love-hate relationship. She don't like me, I don't like her. We tolerate each other. This is my home right here. The fish store is my home. Talk about tiny fry, Joey. They look like larvae. Right. At least you're honest. We get people all the time. They'll come in the store and they'll be like, how's your wife? Or, they'll ask Naomi on her TikTok, how's your husband? We're both like, we're not married. I don't have a wife. She don't have a husband. We're not married. We don't even like each other. Brandon, did you make a video on it? Have you done it yet? It's hard to put down. I got you. Like little eyelash kind of thing. Oh, my black worm culture failed. By the way, Brandon. Uh, so I think I know what I did wrong. Uh, I didn't put sand in the tank. I didn't have sand. So they were actually in a bare bottom tank. What? Right? So I had the black worms in a bare bottom tank. I didn't have sand. And, but I put lava rock in there. But they all ended up dying. Just what in the hell is going here? Oh, early morning live with me. That never happens. Never. Not this early. Appreciate you, Jesse. But earlier I was talking about my my horror story here at J&N Aquatics when a whole rack of tanks fail on me. It's going super well for me the way I have them set up. Always be early, life too short. No time for that sleeping man. That's right. Nah, I had a whole Jesse. I had a whole rack of fish tanks fail and busted all over the store and everything. So I'm in the process of rebuilding, bigger and better. Yeah, the wire rack apparently bent in half. I don't know if you could tell, but it bent. All my tanks came crashing down to the floor. Zero casualties though. I was able to save all the livestock. So the only thing I lost was a $90 rack and 8 fish tanks. It's the only thing I lost. But the livestock survived. They're all in buckets right now. So, Branton, if you want, you can drive down here to Paducah and set up a tank for me for the blackworms. That would be great. Because I didn't think sand would really matter. I mean, eventually I was going to put sand in the tank when I had the chance. But they probably only lasted a day and then they all died. The blackworms did. And boy, do they stink. Oh, if you pay my travel expenses, I will. Shoot, I'll come pick you up. I'll drive up there and pick you up. We'll drive down. We'll stop at local fish stops between me and you. Well, we might have to go get Jody too. I mean, so Jody was supposed to put herself in a box and ship herself down here, but she didn't. I'm getting irritated trying to achieve my goal of monster tank. I have 300 that needs repaired. Not sure. So how much, like, are plywood tanks really that expensive? I'd be bringing the family. Hey, bring the family. Let's go. Our kids to play with each other. Hey, Jim. Jeff. The pond shield. I got you. Yeah, I want to do a plywood tank. Uh, I want to do one for the house, but I don't know nothing about it. Well, see, I can build my own concrete tub. I do have a little experience with concrete. I'm a carpenter. So if y'all don't know, I am a carpenter. Uh, been carpenter for several years, but not now. I'm a full time fish keeper now. But I'll take my for glass panel for it. Yeah, we'll. Brandon, you better start packing your suitcases. I'll come. I'm coming up there next Monday. I'll be in Minnesota this weekend. All right. I'll be there Monday to pick you and the family up. Graham's domain. It says we find a patch to cracked on the 300. Watched the video from Joey saying if it's cracked on bottom or front, especially on bottom, it replaces due to the cracked back panel. Mine's cracked. Yeah, I don't know if I'd trust. I said if it's cracked, throw it away. Start over. Jody, me too. I wish I had a bigger fish family around here. I think so. Around here, I have one guy. His name is D Brown. He sells online. He's a rainbow fish breeder, and he's he's part of the Bluegrass Lexington Club that Select Pet runs. But that's like a 3 hour drive. I think John is close. John is like 3 hours from me. Uh, Nancy B, she is 2 hours. She lives in Tennessee, so she's like 2.5 hours away from me. I haven't met Nancy yet. Chattanooga Ed, he is 4 hours from me. So it's a little drive with everyone. Thought about making plywood, then use my front 8 foot panel for it. There you go. Trust your gut, Jesse. Just that's probably what I would do. I'd just make a plywood tank and use that panel. Hey, Daniel. I live in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Hey, Google, Where is Fayetteville, North? Hey Google, stop listening to me. Don't listen to me. Hey Google, how far is Fayetteville, North Carolina from Paducah?
If you drive, Fayetteville is 690 miles away from Paducah.
How long does that take?
With light traffic, it will take you 10 hours and 46 minutes to drive from Fayetteville to Paducah.
So 11 hours. Jesse, you're 11 hours from me. So that's not a bad drive. You can make that trip. Shoot, Jesse, you could go to the OCAs there in Ohio. That shouldn't be far for you. Hey, who's good at math? How many of y'all are good at math? I need to pick your brain about something. Who was an A plus student in math in school? It's too far. A close one I can do is the one they do in Charlotte. I got you. Funk do math goody. All right, Funk. So we're gonna pick your brain. So let's say a individual has a 75-gallon tank. Okay. 7. No, not 7. All right. So say a customer has a 75-gallon tank, right? And they had a ick outbreak in their tank. Now, they have in their tank, they have bristle nose plecos, water change. They had a green dragon bristle nose. They had a lemon blue eye bristle nose. And the green dragon and lemon eye breeded with each other and produced hundreds of babies, right? All right. So they have hundreds of plecos in this 75-gallon tank. Two grown, lots of babies. And then they have Corydoras. They have all sorts of fish. All right. It really don't matter the type of fish they have. But they have an ick outbreak. And so to treat the ick, they used 1 pound of aquarium salt, Fritz's aquarium salt. So when treating with ick, you want to do a tablespoon per 3 gallons, correct? One tablespoon per 3 gallons of water. So, hey Google, how many tablespoons are in a pound?
Sorry, I didn't understand.
How do you not understand? Hey Google, how many tablespoons are in a pound of salt?
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Google
But I
your
found something similar.
your.
Do you want to know how many tablespoons in a pound are?
That's why I just asked. Yes.
Good, good.
Yo, Google. She is vicious. She just told me good. Like, I'm glad you want to know. Yes, unused more for it, but regular dose 1 tablespoon per 5 gallons. 32 tablespoons in a pound. Okay, so 75-gallon tank. So that is and Jess laughing. Yeah, Google's vicious. Like, I asked her a question. She's like, "Do you want to know how many tablespoons are in a pound?" I said, "Yes." She's like, "Good, good." Google about to go out the front door. It's too early for her crazy talk. But Google done got me all fired up. You need 25 tablespoons in a 75. Okay, so 25 tablespoons in a 75. So she overdosed, is what happened. So and heat reduce available loss. Right. So she upped the temperature. I don't think she went to 87. I think she went to 82 degrees. But she dumped the whole full pound in her tank. And as in extra aeration, I don't know if she did that or not. So it was recommended doing a tablespoon for every 3 gallons in upper temperature. Normally she kept her temperature at 75. But anyways, long story short, she lost everything in her tank. How long have you been married to Google now? Shoot, I feel more married to Google than I am anything. I've been married to Google probably about 5 years now, roughly 4. Just treat with meds and be done with it. But see, she didn't want to do the meds because of the dye. Yeah. So the lifespan on ick is 78 hours, I believe. So if the ick does not have a host to feed off of, when they go through, I think like a 3-day growing period or something. I'm not 100% sure, but she lost everything in her tank, and I think it's because she overdosed with salt. Which was a sad day for her. Sad day for me. But she gave me a list of fish to restock her tank with, and but she wants to ensure that the ick is out of her tank before she adds anything else to it. Plus the 30 cyst, right? So I told her water changes. Now, if she ups her, so the temperature the temperature makes it go through its cycle a lot faster. But if she ups her temperature, I'll be afraid for the Corydoras that are still alive in her tank. Because right now, I think she's sitting at 82 right now. But if she ups it anymore, she might have issues with her Corys. But she traded death over discoloration. Got to think ahead before taking action. Mm-hmm. Right. I think she has like Starbys. I think she has Julie's. It's hard to say. I don't remember. You use salt 1 pound per 5 gallons turned up to 1 pound per 5. Yeah, that's a lot. Can 88. Both of those can handle 88. All right. Well, I told her to try 84 to upper temperature to 84 and just keep an eye on her Corys. And then she needs to do a good water change and soak up the substrate, get all the dead stuff out of it. Tablespoon, not pound. Okay. You had me worried, Jesse. I was like, that's a lot of salt for 5 gallons. Had it. I've only had ick over time. One time. Used ick at. Only thing that stained was a suction cup. See, I used ick at once and it turned. That was a long time ago. But it turned like all my seals blue. It turned everything blue. That's why I went to aquarium salt. It said, "Oh, I misread. Oh, okay, my fault. I misread it." Always have it. The med tree on 14. Yeah, so my quarantine tanks, I use aquarium salt, and I have the other two. Then I did discover, y'all, if y'all love oxalotls, I underpriced my oxalotls like crazy. So I've been selling my oxalotls anywhere between 50 to 75. depending on the type. Just the other day, I went to a website called Oxalotl World or Oxalotl Planet, and uh, the same size oxalotls that I was selling like for $50 was like $120, $130. So I definitely had mine way underpriced. Might explain why I kept selling out so quickly. Has a couple oxos in the 50, 20-ish local. $20. Really? For like a juvenile? So when I bought the oxalotls from a breeder in Arkansas, I think she sold them to me for like $20 a piece. They were like this big. They were small. They were in like little cups when she brought them, and so I paid $20 a piece for a little baby oxalotl. And now they're like, I don't know, they're big now, and $20 for an adult. Jeff, go buy those oxalotls and ship them to me. I'll I'll give you money for them. 50 bucks for a Jack Dempsey. Oh, that's crazy. But what size though, Jesse? What size is the Jack Dempsey? Size matters. Size is everything. Believe it or not. $150 for a 9-inch silver arrow. 50. No way. Look, Jesse, hold on. Let me show you something. So my electric blue Acaras. Let me flip my camera. Settings, camera. So those are my electric blue Acaras. Locally bred. And I got these guys for $15. So I have them on sale for 15, and I think I've only sold 2. So I thought 15 was high. That's a fair price. Yeah, I was wondering because I mean they're not selling here. So I thought 15 might have been high. But you're talking 50. That's crazy. And then the oxalotls, so I got an adult GFP, so like 6 inches, or no, I'm sorry, things like 6 to 8 inches. Uh, I have an adult that I was going to sell for like $75, but I looked at Oxalotl Planet and they have it on their website for $200. And like the melanoids adult, they have at $225. You could buy a 6-inch Oscar for $16 at PetSmart. Not here. Not here in Paducah, you can't. Paducah won't even carry something that big. The PetSmart here always has baby fish. They sell them. Strangers in over and over. Yeah, shoot. If I can buy, let's see, Jeff said, what did I say? $20? Yeah, $20 for an adult axolotl. That'd be nice. I need to find me some females. I'm still up and down about breeding axolotls. I don't know if I want to put the time and money into it or not. You really didn't get there for right. That's how I like getting the fish small and raising them. So this guy, my Megamind, my little flower horn here. This guy here, he goes for anywhere from $400 to $600. I get people that ask me all the time how much I want for them, which I don't want to sell them. He's my buddy. He loves to be pet. This is my little buddy here. This guy loves his head to be rubbed. We're definitely bros. But yeah, so he goes anywhere between. So I looked on some Oscar website or not Oscar website, Cichlid website, and he goes anywhere between 3 to 800. But he's my little buddy. People, I get people all the time wanting to pet them. I tell them that I'll let them pet them if they pet my Oscars. So this is Duke and Maya. These. Little Duke and Maya. But no one wants to pet the Oscars. I don't know why. You get any tiger barbs in? Oh, I'd get tiger barbs anytime. $50 for a jack in a retail setting isn't bad, especially if it's healthy. Yeah, for a full grown Jack Dempsey. That's a common fish. Right? It wasn't full grown. Hey, Google, are you in a better mood right now?
I'm happy whenever we're chatting.
Well, I'm happy too. How much is a Jack Dempsey at PetSmart?
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Google, I did not stutter. Hey, Google, how much is a Jack Dempsey fish?
I don't know the answer to that specific question, but according to azgardens.com, Jack Dempsey New World cichlid, $17.99.
$17.99 at AZ Gardens online. But that's probably small. Babies. Breeding costs a lot. That's with any fish. Costs a lot of money. So is it like was it your local fish store? Did they breed it? No, they did not breed. No. So they bought it at wholesale. What was the size on it? But we gonna look these people up. Let's see. Here's 5 to 6 inches. AQUA or ANA. North Carolina. Aquarama Pet Center. They sell all kinds of stuff. I see birds, I see rabbits, snakes, geckos. They do not have a website though. They got a Facebook page, but they don't have a website. And I'm sure they don't post their prices online. Because I never post my prices online. Because then you'll get other local fish stores to compete with you and go lower. Turtles. Yeah, they don't have an actual website. Now could it be a location? So I mean, Jack Dempsey's might be a common fish in your area, but like here, you don't see Jack Dempsey's. Curly Ultras like hands too, and will swim between my fingers. The other fish that are skeptical. Right, Daniel? See, I get my guppies, my baby guppies, they come and tap my fingers. They think they're being fed. Theirs will swim into my hands. Guppies are fearless. I had parrotfish. I had a King Kong parrot and I had a blood parrot. Uh, and they would feed out of my hands. Like I just cut my hand and put it in, and I mean they'll come and eat right out of them. Jody had a blue Galaris, was swimming in her hands. See, there's nothing better than the fish hobby. I like it. Granted, I don't have well, did you all see Aquarium Co-op's new newsletter? I don't know if y'all have access to their newsletters, but Aquarium Co-op, because so if y'all watched our live with Mexicali, uh, Naomi had brought up the topic of wholesalers building relationships with their customers, like their retail stores, and so Asia emailed me the other day, and they now have it where if your local fish store spends, what was it, $100,000 of Aquarium Co-op products, that we can schedule a meet and greet with our customers and Corey from Aquarium Co-op. So I got a long way to go because I think I just hit my 50,000 with Aquarium Co-op, or no, 5,000. No, it's 50,000. I believe. No, it's 5,000. I don't know. I forget how much I spent. driving and lurking. About 4 inches. Oh, y'all just reminded me. Sorry, my mind is everywhere. Have you all heard of black spot disease? Brandon, I think I messaged you about this. You know, as hard as it. Anybody? Let me see. We are going to the Jet Seas. So Jack Dempsey's price ranged anywhere from $9.99 to $69.99. So with the size, a 2XL Jack Dempsey, which is full grown, is $69.99. That is 8-inch or larger. Yeah, it's 8 inches or longer. What size did you say that Jack Dempsey was? So for a 5-inch, so we'll say 5-inch is probably an extra large. So this person, this Aquatics Unlimited. Now keep in mind, okay? Okay, we'll say 5 or 6. So we'll say extra large. So this website has it for $39.99. Now that's not including shipping. That's where a lot of people get you, is that shipping. They will lower their price on the fish, but they will charge you out the ass on that shipping just to make that profit on the fish. Honestly, I would say fit for that size. I think $50 is probably pretty fair. Yeah, $50 is pretty fair for that size. That's accurate. Now, what makes them harder to breed as they need bigger tanks and eat more? That's accurate. Now, what makes them harder to breed as they need bigger tanks? So, breeding them. I mean, it's not only the water that you use. It's the water. It's the food. Because I mean, you're not going to feed them the exact same thing over and over. You're going to feed them high quality food. So I mean, you're going to feed them your brine shrimp. You're going to feed them your bloodworms. You're going to feed them your black worms. When they get older, then you start getting into night crawlers. Your red whittlers, stuff like that. Nine night crawlers. Here, you could get a 12 pack for like $8. So if they're feeding that Jack Dempsey night crawlers, and they're on a daily basis, I mean, you're spending a lot of money. You are spending a lot of money. Uh, but during the breeding process, I mean, a lot of water changes. Like I said, their diet and the food. No, Brand's a cool dude. Yeah, Brand's a cool dude. But yeah, I mean, like even breeding, for example, my mollies, right? Mollies is a common fish, and it don't take a whole lot to breed them. The most expensive to breed is probably the food. It's got to be the food. And of course, the water. I mean, you're constantly have to do water changes because when you go to breeding, those cold water changes, even for like goldfish, you feed their bellies up like full of protein. So your live foods, you fill their bellies up, and then you hit them with a cold water change, and it triggers them, and they start to breed. But so that's why I say I think it's the food. It's the food that costs a lot of money. So that's why people kind of price their stuff high, so they can get something back. But yeah, I mean, I'd rate that $50 on that size Jack Dempsey. That's a fair price. Now, as a retail store, would I pay $50 for that? No, I would not. Because this is pretty much how it works from retail and wholesale. So wholesale, you get, let's say a guppy, right? You buy a guppy for $2 for wholesale. Now, sometimes they are cheaper. Sometimes the wholesalers will put their fish on sale, where you can get a guppy for like 89 cents, right? But they're not going to be a specific line. So I mean, they're not going to be a blue Moscow guppy. They're not going to be a green Moscow or a double ear dragon. They're not going to have that specific line. They're going to be just your generic, your random guppy that they just fish out from breeding. But anyways, so $2 for a guppy, right? Now, when the store buys it and they put it in their store, they're going to up the price by 3 times. Some places do 3.5, some places do 4. So you take a $2 guppy, and your local fish store is going to up that price by 3 or 4, whatever. So you're looking $6 for that guppy. At least $6 for that guppy that they spent $2 on. So that's a $4 profit, right? Now that $4 profit that they made, it may cover the food that they feed, it may not. It just depends how long they hold it. But where was I going with this? Now, so I bought a guppy for $2, right? I sell it for $6. So if I buy 12 guppies at $2 a piece, that's $24. And then I say all the guppies came in alive, well, and I sold all 12 at $6. So that's $72. So it's like a 40-something profit. But if I was to lose a guppy, right? So I paid for 12 and I happen to lose a guppy or two, then my profit goes down. If that makes sense. Paducah's wild today. I don't know what's going on in Paducah, but it's gone crazy. That's why your local fish stores up the price by between three or 4 times 3 times 4. So if your local fish store selling that Jack Dempsey at 50, so they probably got that Jack Dempsey as a surrender, more than likely. I know they didn't buy that size Jack Dempsey at wholesale. You can't buy sizes like that at wholesale. Because if you happen to come across one wholesale at that size, the shipping will be crazy, and no local fish store is going to pay $80 to ship one fish. Uh-oh. Pollen's out. Watch out. Allergies are going to be happening. So when I bring guppy pairs to Tristan, they're a true strain. I sell them for $4 a pair. He sells them for $15. Right. Yep. Yeah, so we up the price. So that times three will cover on the food, it covers the water, it covers the electricity to run these tanks, it covers the shipping to have that order shipped. But you don't always get your money back because, I mean, you're going to lose fish. And if there's a pet store out there that says they do not lose any fish, they are lying, because that is not true. I can almost guarantee every one of your local pet shops are losing fish on a daily basis. You might not see it, but they are. They're losing fish on a daily basis. So their profit is going down. Every time they lose a fish, they're making less money. I'm the only one blowing up your streams here. Thanks again for. Hi, you good? You're good, Jesse. We hey, there's nothing wrong with debates. Nothing wrong with debates at all. I say everyone has their own thoughts and experiences. The world would be boring if we didn't have any debates. Jody, what's for breakfast? I'm hungry. Branton, tell your snails to start breeding before I ship them off to you. Toasting eggs for the youngest and omelets for myself and oldest. Ooh, omelet sounds good. Or just I can't be quite as engaged as I like. We need a group hug. Jody, tell these boys, hug it out. So I'm in the process of starting my mealworm culture, which is going good. Don't let her fool you, right? So I got, let me show you all my little culture I got going on here on my mealworms. Camera facing back. So we got 3 stages on the mealworms, right? So you got the larva. Which these guys, oh, this guy is called a pupa or a pupa. So they go into I thought I just dropped them. Where's my camera? So they go into this little stage here and they get dropped into this little container where they don't feed. And then they turn into little beetles like this guy. Come here, buddy. So they turn into little beetles. Where'd he go? So he gets transferred over to the beetle tank so they can lay more eggs. Then once they lay eggs, then they'll go into that tank. And then it's vice versa. It's a 3-step process. So this is my 3-stage mealworm colony. Now, only if I can learn how to do blackworms, that'd be great. Settings, camera. All right, y'all. I got to get focused. I got the store that opens up in an hour and a half. And I got to finish this rack, get the store cleaned up. It's mayhem. It's crazy. So Jesse, Branton, Jeff, if you're still in here, Jody, if y'all want to come down to Paducah, help me get the store in a non-chaotic mess right now. Come on, I'll be waiting. Y'all have an hour and a half to get here. So y'all better start running out that door. I said, nah, I'll meet y'all one day. I'll meet you guys one day. Headed to the doctor appointment in a few minutes for my youngest. She got acid reflux, something fierce. Oh no. Tell her get to feeling better. But all right, y'all. You guys stay safe. Be careful. And I'm actually going to start getting to work here. I had reach it today. It's been helping. That's good. That's good. Well, thank you all for coming in and hanging out with me. Y'all kept me very entertained. You guys are awesome. But now it's time to get to adulting and take care of this stuff. So, Jody, I will get a hold of Naomi somehow if she wakes up. I'll have her do an unboxing. But so thank you all. I'll see y'all next time.